Content creation, platforms for B2B blogs in 2025. Your blog platform is your first sales rep in 2025. In 2025, most B2B buyers will form an opinion about you before they ever reply to an outbound email or take a discovery call. Research shows 47% of buyers consume 3 to 5 pieces of content before engaging a sales rep, and roughly 70% research products or services on their own first. That homework usually happens on your blog or resource center, which is why your CMS choice is a revenue decision, not a design preference. If the platform makes content hard to discover, slow to load, or impossible to attribute, you don't just lose traffic, you lose pipeline clarity and sales velocity. At SalesHive, we look at your blog the same way we look at Outbound. It's a system that should consistently turn attention into qualified conversations. The best blog platforms in 2025 don't just publish posts. They support SEO compounding, clean lead capture, and SDR workflows that make content easy to use in sequences and follow-ups. Why B2B blogs still drive pipeline and outbound in 2025. Blogs remain the backbone of content programs because they connect directly to revenue outcomes. Nearly 49% of B2B marketers say content marketing is their most effective channel for driving revenue, which means your blog platform affects pipeline just as much as it affects brand. The SEO economics are hard to ignore. Websites that maintain a blog have 434% more indexed pages, creating far more entry points for buyers across problems, use cases, and categories. When your content library grows, your outbound funnel grows too, because SDRs can prioritize engaged accounts and send relevant articles instead of generic pitch decks. Publishing cadence compounds the effect. Companies producing 16-plus posts per month can see about 3.5 times more traffic, which translates into more warmed accounts for a B2B sales agency, an outsourced sales team, or your internal SDR team to work. The platform's job is to make that volume sustainable without creating technical debt or attribution blind spots. What a modern B2B blog platform must enable. SEO in 2025 is as much about structure and speed as it is about keywords. Your CMS needs to make it easy to control URL structure, internal linking, canonical tags, redirects, and schema markup, while consistently delivering strong performance and stable core web vitals so your best content actually earns visibility. Equally important is publishing governance. A serious blog operation involves marketers, subject matter experts, and sales leaders, so your platform should support roles and permissions, draft workflows, revision history, and repeatable templates that let you ship consistently without one person who knows how the site works. Finally, treat integrations as table stakes. If your forms, tracking, and automation don't sync cleanly into HubSpot or Salesforce, the blog becomes a vanity channel and your SDR agency motion suffers. Your platform should capture UTMs reliably, pass engagement signals into your CRM, and make it straightforward to route leads to the right owner with clean data. Platform options in 2025. Choose based on revenue fit, not vibes. For most B2B teams, the practical shortlist is WordPress, HubSpot CMS, and Webflow, with headless CMS options reserved for more complex cases. WordPress is still the default for a reason. It runs about 43.2% of all websites and roughly 60+% of CMS-driven sites, which translates into a huge ecosystem of SEO tooling, integrations, and talent. Webflow is growing fast with design-forward SaaS teams, and its footprint, about 0.8% of all websites and 1.2% CMS share, signals real adoption among modern B2B brands. It can rank extremely well when configured properly, but you still need to validate that your tracking, forms, and CRM handoffs work as cleanly as your design system. Headless CMS builds, like Contentful or Sanity, can be excellent when you're serving multiple front ends or need strict engineering control, but they're easy to over-engineer. If marketers need a developer for basic SEO tweaks or landing page iterations, publishing slows down, and the content engine that should fuel cold calling services and a cold email agency motion turns into a backlog. Treat your blog as a revenue system. Structure it around buyer intent, wire it into your CRM, and build it to support SDR workflows, not just page views. Build the blog around SDR workflows so content gets used. A blog that drives pipeline is designed for retrieval and reuse. That means categories and tags mapped to ICP panes, roles, and deal stages, plus pillar pages that guide buyers from problem-aware to solution-ready. When 47% of buyers consume multiple pieces of content before talking to sales, navigation and internal linking aren't UX details, they're conversion infrastructure. Your lead capture approach should also match how SDRs work. Use consistent forms, UTMs, and hidden fields so a post-click from an outbound sales agency sequence can be traced to a contact and account, not lost as anonymous traffic. If your cold callers or email team can't see what someone read, they can't personalize follow-up and they can't prioritize the right accounts. From there, operationalize content into playbooks. For example, a ROI model post becomes a standard step in your pay-per-appointment lead generation flow, while a common mistake teardown becomes a default asset in objection handling. This is where SalesHive clients see the real payoff. Content becomes fuel for B2B cold calling services, cold email, and LinkedIn touches, measurable, repeatable, and tied to outcomes. Common platform mistakes that quietly kill pipeline. The biggest mistake is choosing a platform based only on templates or marketing preference. If sales ops can't reliably track lead source, content engagement, and form to opportunity attribution, your blog becomes a nice-to-have, and your sales development agency motion runs blind. The fix is simple. Require a proof of concept that shows a contact moving from blog visit to routed lead with clean CRM fields. Another costly error is treating LinkedIn or Medium as your primary blog home. LinkedIn is still the king of distribution. 95% of B2B marketers use it for organic content, but it's not where you want your compounding SEO asset to live. Use social platforms as amplification layers that point back to canonical posts on your domain so you own the long-term traffic, tracking, and retargeting. Finally, teams often ignore technical SEO and performance until rankings stall. In 2025, fast, structured pages are favored across search environments, and slow, bloated platforms bleed both traffic and conversions. Your CMS decision should include performance testing on staging, schema validation, and a migration plan that protects redirects and canonicals before you ship anything to production. Operational best practices that make platforms pay off. Start by standardizing measurement. UTMs, form fields, and event naming should be consistent across every post, landing page, and campaign. When content performance can be tied to accounts and opportunities, marketing can double down on what creates pipeline, and your sales agency team can prioritize the right follow-ups instead of guessing. Use AI to accelerate drafts, but keep humans responsible for persuasion and specificity. AI tools can produce a fast first pass, yet the posts that win in competitive SERPs and in sales conversations include real examples, numbers, implementation details, and talk tracks your reps can confidently send after a call. That combination is what turns a blog post into a selling asset for an outsourced B2B sales program. Then build a distribution workflow that your team can repeat weekly. Every strategic article should be repurposed into multiple LinkedIn posts, short snippets for sales enablement, and a trackable asset for outbound sequences, especially since 95% of teams already rely on LinkedIn for reach. The key is to keep the owned blog as the source of truth, so the attention you earn can be captured, scored, and acted on. A practical 3-year decision framework and what to do next. Before you migrate anything, audit what you have against revenue requirements, technical SEO controls, publishing workflow, security, and, most importantly, CRM integration and attribution. If your current platform can be fixed with better hosting, cleaner templates, and tighter analytics, that stability may be worth more than a full rebuild. If a move is justified, commit to a primary platform you can run for the next 3 years and invest in doing the basics exceptionally well. For most B2B teams, that means WordPress, HubSpot CMS, or Webflow, configured for speed, structured content, and clean routing into HubSpot or Salesforce. This is how you earn compounding results: more index pages, more engaged accounts, and a steady stream of warmed leads for Outbound. Once the platform is sound, the next step is turning attention into meetings. That's where we often come in as a cold calling agency and SDR agency partner, using your best blog content inside sequences, follow-ups, and multi-touch outreach so interested buyers don't disappear after reading their 3rd or 4th article. When the CMS, tracking, and outbound motion are aligned, your blog stops being a content museum and starts acting like a predictable pipeline engine.